This is a perfect example of why older men prey on younger women.
So boom, that 7th day, he was like, do you really want to know what's going on? Huh? Hell yeah, I want to know what's going on with you, my guy. Because after a while, I realized that his new tags wasn't really a new tag. It's a piece of paper and it's distorted. So he was like, this car, I ain't got no license plate on it. Yeah, I know that. He was like, so yeah, basically his license was suspended. He eventually told me that he damn near just got out of jail and he got a warrant out for his arrest. Story time on how a man low-key tried to move into my house. So met him on a dating app. I had went out with my girls and we were already texting previously before that, but I went out with my girls. I had a limit drop. I go home and I called that man. Don't ask me why I called him. I don't really know why I called him, but yeah, we get on the phone. We are chatting it up. Like, he had very good conversation. The chemistry was just so strong through the phone. I'm like, oh, this about to be a situationship. This what this about to be. I know what this about to be. I'm ready. So boom, he's talking about how he is out joyriding and listening to music. I'm like, oh my God, I love joyriding and I love listening to music. Obviously, he was like, well, let me come pick you up. Mind y'all, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I got work at 10 a.m. Did I say yes? Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. I'm always down for a very good plot, okay? So hopped my stupid ass on into that fucking car. Mind you, before I got in the car, honestly, I didn't see no license plate, but I saw like a new tag sticker on his windshield, his back windshield. So I was like, okay, all right. He just bought a car, like, period. Like, okay. So we literally drove for like from 2 a.m. all the way to like 6 to 7 in the morning, just listening to music, vibing, having good conversation. I wasn't uncomfortable. I never got a bad inkling that I was in danger. Nothing. Like, my intuition was telling me to enjoy this moment, enjoy the plot twist. So boom, that continued for 7 days because like I didn't want him to come in the house, but like, no, I can ride around with you though. So boom, that 7th day, he was like, do you really want to know what's going on? Huh? Hell yeah, I want to know what's going on with you, my guy. Because after a while, I realized that his new tags wasn't really a new tag. It's a piece of paper and it's distorted. So he was like, this car, I ain't got no license plate on it. Yeah, I know that. He was like, so yeah, basically his license was suspended. He eventually told me that he damn near just got out of jail and he got a warrant out for his arrest.
I remember real quick. We've been looking at homes recently, and we came across this one home. This reminds me of this story right here. We came across this home, and we loved it, and it had a listing price of like $800,000. So we look at the home, and it was beautiful. I love the home. Me and my wife, we fell in love with it. We were like, oh, this is the home. We put an offer in on it. Long story short, the seller said that our offer was too low. We were like, oh, we didn't offer 800. We offered over 800, but we were like, okay. They were like, yeah, it's by far the lowest. We were like, oh wow, okay, because it was a good amount, more. And but pretty much they wanted like $930,000 for the home. And I'm sitting there, me and my wife are looking at each other like, why would you list it at $800,000 if you were looking for 930? And they were like, oh, we were trying to start a bidding war and yada yada yada. So their thought was, though, people will come see the home, fall in love with it, and then start to like outbid one another and bid all the way up to 930. And I was like, I don't care how much you love the home. Money is money is money. You know what I mean? If people are looking at $800,000 homes, they don't have a budget of 930. That's freaking stupid. So I say all of that to say this. That man, before he told her the truth, he wanted her to be attached to him. That's pretty much what it was. And that's what a lot of men do. A lot of men do that.
It was a couple other things, but I might just touch base on that and further down the line or whatever. So me being me, because I was enjoying the plot twist. I'm like, damn, like what can get worse besides this other than a bitch getting pregnant? But that wasn't going to happen because, no. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like, okay, let me start asking you real questions. So I was like, what are your intentions? He was like, oh, we just been in a friendship. I'm like, honestly, that's cool with me. I love a nigga that don't want to say friends with benefits. They just want to say friends. But whatever, booski boo. Don't even worry about it. But I know what you're talking about. So boom, I eventually trust him enough to let him in my crib. First day.
Ma'am. Damn it. Why? Damn it, why? Why, damn it? Huh? Come on now. Oh man. See, hey. This is what the red pillars, they love to hear this. They love to hear this. This is what they be feasting on. They be like, y'all love them jail niggas and this. I can hear them. Oh my God, I can hear them. They're eating this up. Come on, man. No. The signs were there. The red flags were abound. They were abundant. Damn.
They had a blast. Like, it was cool, you know, and it was cool. And we watched a whole bunch of movies. We were chilling, watching TV, enjoying each other's time. And this is slowly where I started getting the ick. And basically, he had started coming over like damn near every day for like the next 4 days until I realized, like, where's your crib at? Why you're not inviting me over? What's going on here? And the nigga kept coming over with empty-handed. I don't know. Like, I don't like an empty-handed man. I'm sorry.
He's a hobosexual for sure. But I just thought about something real quick. So this man told you he had an open warrant for his arrest, and you were like, yeah, let's keep riding around together. I don't know. She's young. And this is what I be talking about. What I be saying, like, you know, younger women, you know what I'm saying? I don't think this is happening to like 35-year-old women. I'm not saying any 35-year-old woman wouldn't do this, but yeah, like, I think you know, they would take that into account. Like, I'm not about to be riding around with no man that has admitted that he has an open warrant. What was the warrant for? We didn't get to the bottom of that. Okay, let's proceed. At the end of the day, though, the nigga diabolical. Why are you trying to date a woman and you got an open warrant? You ain't got nowhere to live. You ain't established like nothing. You gonna use a woman to help build you up and establish you. You gonna drag a woman down, slow her up on her mission. It's I don't know, man. I'll just be wanting men to have, like, I just want men to have like a little bit more or a lot more integrity and a lot more like gumption. I don't want to sound old with the word gumption, but I can't think of a better word. We need more gumption.
Sorry, you gotta have something to come with. I'm sorry. Not sorry. So long story short, I ended up cutting it off. And then like 2 weeks later, I wanted to be toxic. So I hit him up and I was just starting a random argument. He argued back with me. So I'm like, clearly you still want me. So we started the cycle back again. He was coming over.
And you openly admitted you started an argument with him so that you can be toxic. Oh, man. Damn. All right. That's interesting. I've never heard a story like this before. I ain't gonna even lie. This is very interesting to me to hear. I didn't know this was happening. Like, I honestly, this is what I'm saying. This is what the men's be talking about. This is like, I've never like actually heard it before. So yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning with everybody else what's going on right now. If this is your first time, some of you guys have probably heard this. I've never heard stories like this before.
Again, boom, come around Christmas, I got the ick again. Then I was like, you know what are we doing here? And he was like, I'm just going with the flow. I was like, oh, I don't like that, baby. You can't go with the flow with me. You gotta go hella fast. So boom, cut him off again. Boom, come around Valentine's Day, y'all. Valentine's Day comes around and he was like, hey, happy Valentine's Day. So I'm like, why are you texting me Valentine's Day? Why are you texting me on Valentine's Day? He's like, I just wanted to check up on you. I'm like, that's not the case, nigga. You don't want to check up on me. You want to... Anyways, so boom. I don't know what happened, what transpired, but then he started telling me how, like, his living situation is sucks. Mind y'all, he's 30. His living situation sucks.
Hell no. 30. Oh my God. 30. Jesus Christ.
I'm 23, by the way. His living situation.
I knew it. This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The age gap relationships. This is exactly why This is a prime example, perfect example of why age gap relationships are terrible. This 30-year-old man knew exactly what he was doing. He don't like this girl one bit. One bit. He couldn't get a 30-year-old to do any of this shit, so he found him a 23-year-old to do it. Or to entertain it, at least. She ain't did it, obviously, but, interesting.
Sucks, and he obviously doesn't have a license. It's suspended. He don't got a car because he had went to jail during Christmas, so his license got suspended. He obviously doesn't have a warrant out for his arrest because he did get arrested for that reason. And then also, he had a horrible living situation. So then I was like, oh damn, I'm like, you feel me? Well, I mean, if you want to use my DoorDash account, you can. But then he's like, doesn't want to drive around because apparently, the nigga ain't got no fucking car. He can't use it. He got pulled up because his license plate wasn't on accurate or whatever. And now I'm just like, damn, I'm not going to really extend my hand to help you for real. But again, if you want to use DoorDash, you can. So then he's like, if you know anybody that's paying under the table, then let me know. Mind y'all, I'm from the suburbs. I grew up pretty sheltered. I don't know nothing about nothing of that sort. I don't know nobody who's paying anybody under the table.
He knew you didn't know nobody paying under the table.
I said, DoorDash, that's all I got for you, buddy. I don't know what else you want from me. So then we get into an argument because he was being very manipulative. And when I mean manipulative, the man will be like, I don't want to get too involved with this, and then kiss me. Or he'll be like, I just want us to be friends, and then kiss me. Or he'll be
hot and cold.
Be like, I just don't want to get your I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to get too invested into this sexually. I want us to really build a friendship, and then kiss me. Nigga, quit playing with me. What? Mind y'all, I didn't even want a relationship with this man. I didn't want him. He wanted me. So he sat there and tried to project his own wrongdoings onto me as if I'm the one who is the one wanting this relationship. Whole time I never even wanted a relationship. I was cool with the situationship because I don't want a relationship right now. I'm vibing. I'm enjoying my life. I just turned 23. Your girl is living her life. I'm having fun. I don't want a relationship. So why the fuck did he break up a relationship? I don't fucking know. Anyways, so I called him out on that, and he's like, I didn't do that. You're lying. You're delusional. You're a liar.
Gaslighter.
I didn't say none of that. So I start saying verbatim, I said, after you kissed me, you said this will be enough to hold you over. Who the fuck? Bitch, again, if a man won't do it, another man will. Girl, y'all, honeys, the way I was about to just slick cut that man off, but then I was like, you know what? Let me see how far, let me see how far he really takes this lying shit. So then, boom, we ends up texting a little bit more. We get into an argument, and then I eventually called him.
Mind you, this man ain't her boyfriend, and she arguing with this. What?
A shallow-minded idiot, because and my homegirls told me to say that too, and that's exactly how I felt, so I said it. So then he's like, oh, I was just waiting on you to call me.
Not the group chat was turning up.
That's what women do. Women are always wanting to resort to name calling. I didn't call you anything. Mind y'all, he called me. He said I was delusional, and he called me a liar. He said I never disrespected you. Calling me a liar and delusional is very disrespectful. The only reason why he thinks I'm delusional is because he thinks that him saying we are just friends, but you also want to do relationship type shit with me, and I should not feel no type of way about it, I'm delusional. No, nigga, if you're going to do relationship shit, then we need to be having conversations and intentions about being in a relationship. I was not delusional. So, yeah, I called him a shallow-minded idiot. I did. I should have called him a bitch, if we're being honest, but I didn't. I didn't want to go there. So, yeah, boom. I stopped responding back to him after he said that whole that's what women do stuff, right? Boom. He texts me 3 days later talking about, you said you wanted company at 12:16 a.m. Y'all, mind y'all, let me back up. Mind you, he was telling me his living situation a week ago. He was like, I already told the people that I'm living with, they don't got to worry about me after a week. I'm getting out of here. I said, damn, what are you finna do? Because she ain't coming here. And I was like, damn, what you finna do? He was like, I don't know. I'll figure it out, though. I was like, oh, okay, bet. Again, I got DoorDash. I don't know what else you want from me. Y'all, a week later, now he want to talk about you said you wanted company. Bitch, I don't want no roommate. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me
alone. Wow. It looked like he just wanted to move in as friends. Nigga said, let's move in as friends. Not as boyfriend and girlfriend. Let's move in as friends. It's a homie. Yeah, you know, we homies. Paisan, you know. Wow. This is, like I said, this is a perfect example of why older men prey on younger women. It's a perfect example of how men always like to talk about women having baggage because she learned from this experience, right? She's young, she's 23. I ain't gonna hold it against her. I definitely gonna hold it against a 30-year-old man for trying to do this to her, but I ain't gonna hold this against her. She got out of it relatively unscathed. So, you know, it is what it is. Moving forward, though, he is going to try to prey on another young girl, and she is going to take her baggage, aka experience, with her into her next relationship, and it's going to be harder for the next man to manipulate her. And that's what the men hate. And that's why older men try to go with younger women. And she even said, because she seems a little, you know, she kind of alluded to it, and there's no knock on this young lady, but she said she's raised in the suburbs, so she don't really know, you know what I mean? Like, that don't mean she's not smart, but she's just not aware of a lot of the stuff that takes place outside of the suburbs. You know what I mean? The angles in which that people manipulate people from, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is like textbook why me personally, I rail against 30-year-old men dating 20-year-old women. Like, this is crazy. This right here, a 30-year-old woman never, ever, he never would have had a shot with her. She'd have smelled his bullshit a mile away. She might have let him hunch. I don't blame nobody for that. Let the nigga hunch. You hunching, whatever. It is what it is. But the way that he was trying to manipulate her, and the hot and cold and all, she would have sniffed that shit out first time, got the ick gone. Never would have heard from her. Never would have heard from her again. I guarantee you. Guarantee you that.